Hop Uncensored is the vibe, so subscribe. Oh God, driving Sam and riding passenger side, and you heard it out the mouth of the greatest rapper.
Stand down.
No doubt, no doubt. Tupac, I wanted to ask you, I seen you in a video. You said, or the title of the video was at least that pretty much that Tupac knew that his time was short. Could you expound on that when he was here?
Well, just his tone. You feel me? This nigga's tone was always on some. I don't know. He just looking back, he just did not speak in a long-term sort of thing. Like everything was the right now type of thing. He was rushing to do everything. You know, like Pac, I don't think he was running around telling people per se, I'm gonna die on this day. But after he was gone, I'm pretty sure everybody knew that he was preparing for something. You know what I mean? And again, some people are closer to God than others. You know what I mean? I don't know what was going on in the nigga head, but I know that after he was gone, that was the first thing that came to my mind and stood out to me is, you know, just the way that he was trying to set shit up and going in and doing 2 albums in 2 weeks, and you know what I mean? Just things of that nature that normal people just don't do.
Now, you remember the Outlaws?
Do I remember them?
Were you a member of the Outlaws?
Yeah.
Okay. Tell us about that, man.
I mean, in terms of what? Like when I met them or what?
How you met them, how you got with them, and when y'all decided to come up with the name and all that.
I wasn't there when they came up with the name.
Okay.
I wasn't there. The first time that I met the Outlaws, they was just forming the Outlaws coming from Dramacidal.
Okay.
And they was in the airport. We was on our way to go do some shows with Pac. We had the same manager, nightlife management, which was Suge Knight's and Sharita Knight's management company at the time. They was married at the time.
I asked you about the Outlaws. Then I asked you, was you around the time that Tupac did the Hit 'Em Up disc?
I wasn't. I may have been there. You know what I mean? Because there was a few studios in there. You feel me? And we used to run back and forth. I was there when he done a lot of Machiavelli though. You know what I mean? So right. I'm not sure. But
now before we was talking about,
but I was definitely around at that time for sure.
Right. Now before we was talking about, you know, you said you thought Tupac probably knew his time was short. I think one way that we kind of knew it was in his music. It seemed like he had like a preoccupation with death and talked about death a lot, him and Biggie. So do you think in a way that he maybe, you know, also knew and was kind of like really bracing himself for that death because he said it in his music a lot and talked about death?
I mean, I just felt like he was preparing for a speedy rise to the top and he didn't know what was going to be waiting for him there, if that makes sense. Because a lot of the shit that, you know, it was a lot of shit that was going on back in NY and cats that was some serious dudes that, you know, shit was popping off with. And it was no fucking internet and all that shit. So, you know, niggas don't even really know I don't even know the full story. I'm pretty sure it's some shit that certain cats took to their grave or certain cats walking around here still probably holding grudges on a dead man. You know what I'm saying? Like that shit ain't nothing to play with. Niggas is on their little rap shit, you feel me, and running around playing gangsters. But, you know, in our era, niggas was not going to the gram or doing it for the gram. You know what I mean? There was no fraudulent in that shit and no reason to be fraudulent. You know what I'm saying? So that whole element just brought a whole other range of terror to the shit. You know what I'm saying?
Indeed. We had Coolio on a couple of days ago, and he was talking about his relationship with Pac, and he said that it kind of went sideways when he started joining the gang and went into death row, and he was surprised that Pac joined the gang in his 20s. It's the first time I ever heard that kind of perspective from somebody, one of his friends. What do you think about that? Did it change Pac getting into death row and kind of getting into a different lifestyle if he wasn't in the lifestyle? Because it seemed like he was kind of always in it to some degree.
You want to know some fucking crazy shit?
Yep.
And I was around on a daily basis. For years, nigga, I defended Pac on that very fact right there that he wasn't on no gangbang blood shit. And I tell you why. I mean, to be real with you, this nigga Pac was a cool nigga. You know what I'm saying? And he gonna make everybody feel like they stirred the soup. If it was good, everybody's gonna feel like they was a part of it. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to break niggas' heart and shit, but that nigga ain't give a fuck about being no fucking blood. Are you fucking kidding me? We talking about Tupac Shakur, opposed to niggas who had no clue of what the fuck they was about to do tomorrow. Like, you know, and this is no disrespect to no nigga that was around or no niggas that's Crips or Bloods or essays but we're not talking about a lot of niggas who thrive to be intellectual giants. Niggas is, you know, really around. You feel me? I don't want to say dumb as a fucking box of rocks, but not inspiring to be intelligent. And if they are, they're trying to bottle that shit up and act dumb as a box of rocks. So what I'm saying is that nigga's personality would only, you know, it was a bag attached to that. And I'm finna do whatever I have to do. He was that type of nigga. That nigga was going to war every time he was with himself. Because he knew that, listen, I'm finna hurry up and do these fucking albums. And I'm out of here. That's what niggas ain't saying. Niggas want to put it on. He worked fast. He was trying to hurry up and do those fucking albums because he knew that the charade was starting to become real.
Oh, shit.
You feel me? Like, Pac don't give a fuck about no fucking gangbanging, bro. Man. He didn't, and I'm going to say this. The reason I said that is because I've never seen that nigga ever once ever in my fucking life, never with a red rag on. Never. He never had no red rag in his hand. He's never walked up to me and said, "What's up, blood?" Never. Not once. I've never heard that nigga say that in a crowded room full of people. Not once.
Was it you think it was some industry shit?
Nah, because that means it was some faking. What it was is, okay, this is not hypothetical. This is actual.
Right.
I fuck with some DC niggas that I started going out there on some rap shit. And this was some, back in the day, early 2000s. Me and actually Yuckmouth start going out there on some rap shit. I start going back after the concert. Feel me? I start going back on some street shit. Ended up fucking with these niggas, right? Fucking with these niggas. To where I'm seen all the time with these niggas. And yeah, it's some love there. But I might say Mo a couple times. Mike went up Georgia Avenue, bought me some Nike boots. Nigga, might have ate at to put some mumbo sauce on a few chicken wings around this bitch.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't from DC though. And it's a bag attack. So when I'm going to DC, I'm going to act as if you're not staring at a California nigga. And I'm going to make these niggas feel as comfortable as possible. Not to say that I'm any smarter than them. I'm using this as a reference to a nigga who was intellectually superior than anybody that we're talking about. And all due respect to any one of those guys, we're talking about a fucking genius. We don't know where this nigga is going to end up on the scale of the Martin Luther Kings, the Malcolm. I mean, we praised them and they were dope, but we don't know where this nigga's gonna end up on the scale because we're still breathing the same oxygen that he breathes.
Crazy.
You was telling the story about Jim Jones, and I think it was in reference to East Coast